The summer has arrived, and summer 2022, and this is the release window for Hugh Neutron, or the release time frame that they gave us so far. And today I'm going to be just talking a little bit more about the new character that we're going to have, and just share some a little bit more predictions. He can come out at any day, at any time, at this moment, for any day. He can come out today. They can mess around and drop the character reveal. Maybe we'll get the showcase trailer or the showcase reveal trailer and find out when he's going to be available for Hugh Neutron. There's no telling when he's going to come out, since we're now in the summer. And we're also going to be doing a character request for El Tigre, and in the description I'm going to have all my little ideas shared, so you guys don't have to watch the full video if you don't want to. And feel free to share what you think of this character. And before we start talking about him, I just wanted to also react and share more about Hugh Neutron. I'm excited to see how he plays. I think the most recent hint, if you guys want to consider it being a hint, as far as news, is that he's going to be a Slap City character. I don't know what that means. I never played Slap City, but just looking it up, I guess it was one of the older games that they played. Another similar platform fighter, or it was another fighting game that they worked on and did in the past. Maybe he's going to play similar to the play style of those characters, and maybe someone out there can probably explain how Slap City is, and then maybe you guys who played it can probably give me some more information in the comments if you want to. But I have no idea what that means. He's a Slap City character. Is he probably going to be also included in Slap City outside of Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl? Who knows? But see how we got the voiceovers. I'm sure we're definitely gonna have him be able to say all types of things. I'm excited to see what he says, and just some predictions out there, just my newer ones at least, outside of the ones I did before. It's not a guarantee. These are predictions. There's no any sort of confirmed release date, so I don't want nobody getting it twisted, saying, oh, this is just it's confirmation, this is what I heard. I didn't hear anything as far as a release time frame or release date. We don't have that yet, so hopefully we'll get it sometime later today. Maybe they'll give us some kind of post, or maybe we'll get his showcase video that's gonna also contain the release date in the trailer as a little bit of a teaser. And next week, as far as the final days of June, next week is the last full week of June, and next Friday is July 1st. Maybe he's going to come out next Friday. Maybe he can come out this weekend, possibly. Maybe even today, since it's early, possibly. Just keep my eyes peeled for any sort of updates and information that they give us. But they should definitely give us a release date. Seems like they have the character almost ready and together as far as his character design. I went ahead and already got the universe pack, just in anticipation, so when he drops, I'll be able to get him right away. I don't have to go to the PlayStation store to buy the character. I'll be able to jump in, be able to play as the character, and see what he's capable of. But I would hope that and predict that maybe he can come out with his own item. See how they implemented items. Now the DLC can probably have their own unique item and bring along an item from their world to crash into Nickelodeon All-Star Raw. He was going to crash into the game or ride into the roster on his motorcycle. He can bring Purple Flirt, or maybe some kind of item that's iconic from the Jimmy Neutron show, along with his stage that's going to be represented. I'm curious to see what they add into it. Maybe it's got to be something from Retroville, or maybe something with Jimmy Neutron, but hopefully he's not going to be in the background. I wanted to also throw that out there. But I just feel like he could come out in a matter of days. It's just my newest prediction. Maybe he could. We're probably going to get something by July 1st. Maybe we're going to get something before the end of this month as far as a release time frame. But those are just my predictions. I don't want to just have it drag on and on. And just as far as the summer, here we are in the season. He can be out any day now. So there's no telling when they're going to probably bring him out. But let's get to the roster. I'm excited to see what they do with him. Hopefully no other delays. And just with the whole Slap City reference and stuff like that, we don't know what that's going to be. And hopefully we get that crossplay. Maybe we'll probably get crossplay by the end of the summer, or maybe we'll get it along with the launch of Hugh Neutron. But that's really probably too much to ask for, to get the character with crossplay. I think there's things to be fixed in the game first before we get to that crossplay and the servers, because they don't really run too well online with all the lag, the freezing, so much more. So they definitely need to fix that first before we get that crossplay. But that'll be awesome to see. crossplay by the end of the summer. But now it's time to talk about El Tigre for this character request. Just an all-in-one video today, and I think this character needs to be in. I think he belongs in Nickelodeon, and I think a Nickelodeon, outside of just SpongeBob and all these other characters in the roster, we need a character like El Tigre, because little do you know, he's also a protagonist and an antagonist, and he struggled between being good and evil. He would do devious things, and he was also he's not only a superhero, but he's also a super villain at that. So he's an all-in-one. So that could be the very first character that's going to be both a protagonist and an antagonist, which can probably go in relation with Zim, because isn't he both a protagonist and an antagonist at times? So he'll be like another character that can be able to match up with Zim, and can also fit the worlds of both a good guy and a bad guy. So, and just another character that definitely needs to be represented in this game. He needs to be in Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. He was in those other games. I haven't played Attack of the Toy Bots before. The Toy Bots, I guess it was like a DS game, a Nintendo DS a game or something like that. And then some other games as well. I'm sure he's probably representing. He has his own game, I'm sure. Someone also mentioned before. But for this request, just as usual, I'm gonna just give you guys the backstory if you guys don't know who he is, just to run through this request for his whole backstory. He's not just El Tigre. Before he even became El Tigre and gained these superpowers, he's behind the mask and behind the suit. He's Manny Rivera, and Manny is from a family of superpower ancestors. So his whole family, most of his family members basically have superpowers of their own, and that's how he was able to get these powers from becoming El Tigre. So his superhero father and his villain grandfather is also represented in the show, and you get to see them. And just like I was saying, he's both a protagonist and antagonist character in this particular show. If you guys haven't seen it, I definitely recommend watching the show. It's one of the best shows, and not many people talk about El Tigre. Everyone talks about SpongeBob, the Loud House, and all these other characters. Some people don't really bring up El Tigre that much, and it's just one of the best shows. He's going to be definitely one of the best characters in this game. He belongs in this roster for sure. But just some more backstory. He in the show, he wants to be good like his dad, but being bad is much more exciting to him. So he just couldn't pick what he really wanted to be, what he really wanted to be. But I think for the most part, he ended up becoming more of a protagonist character because of his best friend watching over him, his best friend Frida watching him and being protective of him and making sure he's not doing any sort of or making the wrong decisions, and just watching his back. I mean, she could be a character in this game too, but I think she'll probably be represented in the backstage for this stage that I'm going to bring up, for which the setting of this show takes place in Miracle City. So that was the stage idea that I came up with, and everything goes down in Miracle City as far as all the different worlds that they have represented for these characters and more. Miracle City can come out with El Tigre as the newest character for this game whenever they get to him. I hope he gets into this game, and he's one of my favorites. Not only is this just a request, but this is this is just a character that I also would like to see. So it made me happy to see this character being brought up, because it's not just me that watched the show, it's other people who remember the show and treasures this show as part of their childhood and memories from Nickelodeon. So it makes me want to really just watch it all over again. But that's just his little backstory of who he is, Manny Rivera, and how he became who he is and how he got the powers and stuff like that. And I just feel like he belongs in this game, and he can fit the role of both sides of being a good character and a bad character, and he can be whoever he wants to be, plus just being half superhero, half super villain, and things like that. So I'm really excited to see what they do with this character, and if they can consider him. I hope they get more requests for El Tigre in the near future as this game goes on, for other characters that they could potentially add to be able to spice up the roster and have different unique characters to be represented in this game. But Miracle City is the only stage that I ended up coming up with because it's the main setting from the show. It's where everything goes down, and it'll be perfect. And I can visually see it being in this game. It's like a Western style map. It can almost look similar to Teeter Totter Gulch, which is from the Rugrats stage, or the stage that Reptar came out with from the Rugrats universe. It can look something like that, but you're not on a seesaw or anything like that. You're going to be able to get the actual visual of the city. And speaking of cities, see how they came out with Trey Morton? If they can add Trey Morton as the background for the city, they can easily get Miracle City created since they took it from Jenny Wakeman's world. So it'll be perfect for El Tigre to come out in. So now I'm going to talk about his costumes for DLC and paid DLC. Maybe Manny Rivera, he can have his regular outfit for as a little costume when he's not in his suit. But I feel like I had some trouble just thinking about that. It's like if he's in his Manny Rivera alternate costume, he's not going to really be able to fight unless he has those claws, his claws still a part of his body from his suit to be able to attack. How is he going to really be able to do his moves? So I don't know how they would really implement his Manny Rivera alternate skin for his regular outfit without the suit that he puts on when he spins the belt, which is the source of how he triggers his power and activates it to become El Tigre. I'm not sure how the developers will really implement this as far as his abilities. But another alternate idea, just in case they can't get his skin, I came up with how they can change his eyes a little bit. See, it made me think of the skin variation for Resent. See how you can see his eyes? It could be something similar to this, but just different skin variations and colors where you see how El Tigre, if you guys watch the show, he has green eyes. Maybe he can have red eyes for a more evil look to him. So as if he's going good to bad, and you could play as evil El Tigre, where he's becoming the bad guy and his eyes are red. And they could do this for Danny Phantom too. Turn his eyes red for a quick little skin. I think it'd be easier for the developers too. But not saying that they can still get his Manny Rivera skin, where he's just his regular self outside of the suit. But they can just change his eyes to different colors. But I think them red eyes would definitely fit and give him that more evil look to fit his evil side for a quick alternate costume. And they could change the colors of his outfit as well. It can be a little bit of a different color. His hair could be a different color. See how he has black hair, but that references the show. But they can just change his different skins. See how she's wearing green. They can do something like that to keep on changing the different colors. But just the red eyes, changing his eye color and his suit skin color variations for his outfit, I think that'll be a better idea for them. Because I just again, I cannot see how he's going to be able to fight outside of his suit when he's using those claws. They're all part of his hands and stuff like that. Unless they can make it work. I'm sure they can. When he's moving around as Manny Rivera. But now it's time for the taunts and animations that I came up with. And since we have it's just awesome to really just see this. Since we finally have voice lines, and like keep on saying, wish they have voice lines. They need voice lines for the game. He's gonna be able to say the things that he wants to say. I just came up with a couple voice lines, but to reference the show and just from the intro and the credits and stuff like that. But he could say, "I am El Tigre." So he can say that, and then he speaks Spanish, so he can say Arriba, and just things like that. Almost similar to how Dora can speak Spanish, she can say things like that, but El Tigre can too. Say Arriba for his little voice line. And then something else that I found out just from doing some research: when he vows to defeat an enemy or avenge a friend, he'll say, "This I swear." Say, "This I swear." He could say that for some of the voice lines. That's just a couple of voice lines that I came up with. And then just the noise, the iconic noise. But when he's getting ready to transform, it goes like rah, rah, rah. Just a little quick tiger noise. It can also be a taunt when he does that. Rah, rah, just with a part of a quick roar that's safe and it's quick and easy for the developers to implement. So it's not too long of a taunt. But that little tiger noise from the show when he transforms could be his little stage entrance too, and from spinning his belt buckle. because when he spins it, that's how he triggers the transformation to transform into El Tigre when he's getting ready to fight, and he does that little iconic pose. So since we have voice lines, we can actually be able to hear him make these noises and speak Spanish and say, "I am El Tigre." He can say he can do that, and I can really see that being implemented for just a couple voice lines and taunts that he could say during the battle and even win an animation. And that iconic claw pose that you guys see, especially when you see his picture, when you guys see this video today, see that pose. That's exactly the pose he can do when he wins the match. It's an iconic pose, and he does it after he transforms. So that could be a winner circle animation when he wins the match and gets the W. So, and he can do the tiger noise from the show in the mix to go with his iconic clothes. So it's a perfect, it's iconic claw pose. It's a good potential winning animation I could see in that victory roar for the opening credits that I also added into my idea. It could be his victory roar to be able to showcase him, and it pays tribute and reference the show. You always usually hear it every episode. You're going to hear it every episode when he transforms. So it'd be awesome to see them add that. And they got all these other noises, especially Reptar making all that noise, roaring, stuff like that. It's gonna be so much better than Reptar's roars. So El Tigre is gonna really have that tiger noise to be able to showcase, and you can tease your opponent and just do some different poses and make those little tiger noises and stuff like that while he's speaking Spanish. And I am El Tigre. It's I can just visually see it just happening, and it's perfect. This is the perfect character for this game. But now, my little favorite part, the moveset. And some of you guys probably want to hear and just more interested in how he's going to play. I think he's going to be the fastest character in the game. I think he's going to be one of the best. He's going to be faster than Jenny. He's going to be faster than every single character that we got in this game. And no matter who we got, El Tigre is going to be super fast in this game with his insane speed. And that's what this power gives him from the belt. When he spins that belt, he's fast and he's super strong. He gains super speed and he gains super strength. And that's what I utilized in one of his particular moves. But let's get into his moveset now, just to wrap up. So I came up with this almost like a Pokemon reference with his name, Fury Swipes, where El Tigre can strike with his claws. And just to add on to it, so it's not just a basic little light combo attack or 3-hit combos, a series of strikes and swipes. The player can be able to charge it. He or she can, you guys will be able to charge it and unleash a more powerful swipe for extra damage. So that's his Fury Swipe little idea I came up with. And when he transforms into El Tigre, he has a tail. So I thought utilizing his tail would be a cool little neutral strong where El Tigre can knock the enemy back using his tail. Almost similar to how Reptar can hit you with his tail. El Tigre can have something similar to that. But moving forward, a tiger lunge ability or attack that I came up with for El Tigre, where he can just latch onto the target. They don't have any, so none of these characters can latch onto you or jump on you for a series of attacks and stun you. So I thought El Tigre could be one of the first to be able to lunge at you, and once he jumps on you, you'll be immobilized and you're going to be stunned, so you'll be unable to move. So El Tigre will be able to latch onto you and be able to unleash a flurry of claw strikes, like, or just and if they can come out with those little different claw attacks and claw sounds, so he can just go crazy on with his tiger lunge. And then the spinning slash, I came up with this, and I was thinking about Shredder's move, similar to Shredder's spinning shred. I had to look up the actual name because I went back to watch Shredder's showcase when I thought about this attack. I said he has claws, but he's going to be able to do this attack. It's going to be a little bit quicker than Shredder's spinning shred. So that's the name of his air light attack. El Tigre can have something similar of that animation, but he's going to be spinning at you with his claws. See what I'm saying? So he has his own spinning slash. Now, a special ability I came up with to reference the Grave Escape episode, El Tigre had this ability where he learned to control this ancient tiger spirit, and that's what I implemented for his ability for his moveset in this game. So, with this particular ability, he learned from this episode, he learned how to summon and control the ancient tiger spirit. So I thought when using his power, he can have that same field of glowing green tiger shaped energy around him, like a green aura, almost similar to how Shredder gets that little charge up. See what I'm saying? It'll give him increased speed and damage for a limited amount of time. And I think it'll last a little bit longer than Shredder's. So he can't get it all the time. So whenever he brings and summons this, well, he taps into this agent tiger. When he taps into this agent tiger spirit energy, it'll be able to. You only can call it, once every while. So they can probably have that cooldown, maybe like a 30-second cooldown period. I'm not sure how they would probably implement this as far as the cooldown, but you can't spam the Agent Tiger Spirit because that'll make El Tigre really overpowered and ridiculous. Where all you have to do is just keep on calling upon this Tiger Spirit, and you're going to be insanely strong and fast, where no one can catch you, and you're going to be able to do insane damage. So maybe he can have a little bit of super armor with this Age of Tiger Spirit. So maybe that can be a little bonus. You get that additional super armor, then you're going to be insanely fast, and then you're also going to be able to deal twice as much damage than before. So this will probably happen if necessary. They'll have to give this a big cooldown. So you're getting destroyed or you're trying to make a comeback, the agent spirit or the agent tiger spirit that El Tigre can tap into and summon, and since he can control it, it'll be perfect to be a part of his moveset to really have him bounce back in a fight just in case he's in real deep trouble. So I think the agent tiger spirit that I implemented for his moveset to reference the show itself is going to be a cool little special ability that I think a lot of people will like. But last but not least, his recovery move, his hands also contain grappling hooks, and the grappling hook was part of his hands from doing some research. So I thought this could be a perfect recovery move for him. Almost similar to see how Michelangelo, he has a grappling recovery, but it's going to be different for El Tigre because he's going to be shooting it out of his hands, and they can have a different animation for it. Because Michelangelo, in this, he's the only one with a grappling sort of recovery. El Tigre can have something similar to his, but it's going to be very different, a different variation in animation. So El Tigre could use his grappling hands from the show to reach high places because he used it to climb mountains and so much more. So, ridiculous heights and stuff like that. It'll be cool for him. So I thought this would be a perfect reference of the show, and all the different moves I came up with for this particular character idea I thought would be perfect for El Tigre. I think he belongs in this game. I think he needs to be in Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, and I see him in one of the most requested characters polls, but he's not too high up in comparison with to Jimmy, Jenny, Timmy Turner, and all the other characters people want to see. He's in there, but he's not really up there because some people probably haven't heard of him or watched his show. But I'm curious to see what you guys think. I had so much fun creating this. It took some time just trying to be unique with the different ideas and just referencing the show, but I really believe that the Agent Tiger Spirit that he learned to control and summon is going to be really dangerous. I think he's going to be one of the best characters in the game. He belongs. And then just outside of the DLC, as far as Hugh Neutron, maybe we could see him by next week. Maybe by July 1st. For some kind of information, some news, or maybe a reveal trailer soon for maybe a showcase. We'll probably get some more information. So I feel like he's going to be close he's got to be really close. He's not too far away to being able to launch. And maybe he'll have crossplay. Maybe he can come out with his own little unique item. We'll see what happens. But let me know what you guys think of El Tigre. And I can't wait to do more requests. I have still so many characters to create, but it's so much fun creating these. And El Tigre is definitely one of my favorites. I have fun creating this request. And I really hope he gets in. And we need more characters. We don't need to keep coming out with characters from the same shows and the same reps over and over. We got plenty of Nicktoons out there from the Nickelodeon cartoon universe or the NCU to be able to get into this game.